Sometimes the worst thing that can happen is to get what you dream about. Hi guys, John Bishop with John Bishop Fine Art, and welcome back to the podcast. It is less than a month now before I go on a extended art residency in Superior, Arizona with an organization called Art 145. And I leave here in less than a month, and it's a 28-day program. So that means that I have realized that I'm going to be gone for a month, and being gone for a month means that I need to do everything to make preparations that I can so that I'm not burdened with all of that while I'm there. I've never been on an art residency before, so I don't have a lot to compare it to, except that when I would go on religious retreat, a time when you just kind of step away and concentrate on something that's important. And I'm kind of hoping that that's the experience that I'm going to have, and that's the format that I should be considering. So I don't really know what to expect other than to try and clear my plate of as many things as I can so that I can concentrate solely on what I'm doing there at the art residency. Of course, I'm not alone. This is a community of people. There's an art community there. Art 145 has a series of workshops and classes and experiences for their community, and I'm going to participate in that to as large a degree as I can. Being there for such a long time, I need to make some connections there in the community, and I want to give back as well. This is not a free art residency, but it is a reduced price, and I am very grateful for that. But I do want to participate and give back as much as I possibly can. I don't believe they've ever had anyone stay this long in their residency program. And so it's kind of a new territory for them too. It's like, what do we do with this guy for 28 days? If you're there for a week or two, you maybe teach a class, maybe you give a presentation or two. But what do you do when you're there for 28 days? So I think it's a learning experience for both of us. But that doesn't mean I'm not excited about it. I am very, very much a person who loves the desert. I've always been drawn to the desert and have loved the time that I've spent in the desert. This is a gorgeous place. It's just outside of Phoenix. It is, kind of triangulated between Phoenix and Tucson. So it is full-on Sonoran desert. So it'll be a lovely, lovely place. There's also a very old established arboretum there with trails through the mountains and through the desert. I am very, very much looking forward to that and kind of connecting with that spirit of the place. And without getting too metaphysical here, I do believe particularly artists take on something of their environment, because the art that comes out of Santa Fe is not the same art that comes out of Paris. It makes a difference where you are, and you absorb things like the light and the colors and the textures, the pace of life. All of those things influence your artwork. So I'm excited to see and to, in a sense, revisit, because I used to live in the desert in Jal, New Mexico, to revisit that kind of connection with the desert and the Southwest in general. So I'm very much looking forward to that. But the real reason for my going is to prepare for my Panca Marga Legacy Series. If you haven't heard, I'm doing 100 paintings over a period of 20 years. So I do 20 paintings every 5 years for a period of 20 years. And this is the second installment in the fall of 2026. So I need to be able to create 20 pieces of work based on a particular meditation from the Panca Marga. that I use as kind of a loose structure for this legacy series. And the whole idea of the Panca Marga is that for Buddhists, when you think you have reached perfection, when you're about to go to nirvana, from that vantage point, from the top of that mountain, you can see that there's actually 5 more roads to go. Well, I was in my 50s, about to go and start a PhD program just to use my brain, when it became clear to me that we needed to move home to take care of Mom and Dad. And I thought to myself, I've always wanted to do the art thing full time and to be serious about it and see how I can do and what I can do with it. And so we decided that we really couldn't work because we had to take care of Mom and Dad. So I wanted to create an art business instead of doing my PhD. I figured it would be just as hard. In fact, it's probably been harder. So I jumped off in my late 50s. I think I was 58. Was I 58 when we started? Probably 55. Anyway, I needed to leave Russia and come home to help take care of Mom and Dad. We opened up the art business, and we've been doing that for a good 10 years now. So it would have been 55. And we gave up the day jobs in 2015 and have been going ever since. Now, I'm not going to pretend for a moment that this has been an easy road. I have never been more frightened. I have never come more close to running out of money and celebrated the success in the next month. It has been a very, very difficult way to make a living, and it continues to be so. I'm not sure that I have learned a lot in the last 10 years. I think that might just be the color of this beast, that if you're going to be an artist, you're going to have these times. So I'm hoping that we're kind of coming out of a slump, because it has been tough in the last couple of years. But this has not been an easy road. And while I'm not hopeful that it would be simple, I would love for it to be more predictable. And part of this meditation that I'm doing, the first 20 paintings 5 years ago, was on a meditation called the Path of Accumulation, where the concept is that everything that has gone into making you, your good stuff, the bad stuff, your successes, your failures, what you've learned, what you've forgotten, your good and your bad, all make up who you are. And that's what I was 5 years ago. I was jumping in with both feet into this art business, and it was my first solo exhibition. The business had been open for a while, but I had never had a solo exhibition. And this was my way of launching my professional art career, even though I had already been in business for 5 years. So the next meditation is the meditation of accomplishment. And the whole idea here is that you've taken all those disparate pieces that are very chaotic, and you form them into some sort of cohesion, that you have created something more stable and something that is the basis of your meditation, of where you're going next. And so I looked at this as a way for my art business to have come from this crazy, tumultuous mix of feelings and emotions and talent and lack of talent and not understanding business, and honing this down now into a professional art business. And that's where I think I am today. So I need to create 20 pieces of art that reflect that. And my problem is, I don't really know what to do. I don't really know what to paint. I know what my style has developed over the last 5 years. I kind of have my idea around the meditation at hand. But what are the 20 paintings going to look like? I don't know. And part of this residency program will be to take 28 days and figure that out, or as much as I possibly can. It will be a very, very stringent, difficult time for me. And I have to balance that with being bubbly and helpful and courteous and with all the folks that I'm going to be dealing with in Superior, Arizona. I don't want them to be brought down by my indecision and my angst, but I really don't know what I'm going to do yet. That's frightening, but it's also where art lives for me. Art lives in that moment of indecision, that waiting for inspiration. Not because I'm waiting for some muse to tell me what to paint, but that process is what makes the art exciting for me. That is what really turns me on with the art. So yeah, it is going to be a difficult time. It is an exciting time. And my suspicion is that those 28 days are going to fly by, and I'm going to come back to all the things that I should have done that didn't do, and all the things that came up while I was gone, and be in a whirlwind of trying to catch up after my time away. So hopefully that'll be part of my meditation. Not only figuring out how I'm going to paint and what I'm going to paint and painting, but also how to take this meditation on throughout the rest of this year and into the time when I launch this series in September of 2026. So wish me luck. It should be exciting. Of course, I'll take you along with, but I think the important thing for me, and maybe for you as well, is to always keep that sense of wonder, keep that sense of adventure, and find out what the thing is that makes you a little uncomfortable, and then go and do it. Because that's how I move forward anyway. Anyway, have a lovely week. Great talking to you again, and I will see you next time. Bye now.